Sideline of ball. Lakewood are doing it. They're going to take. He's going to bring down Birdie. Almost with a double kill. Dropping fast. Monopoint's there. He's still alive. Wait, second slide. He's going one side. He's going a second. He's taking it up. Oh my God. On three. They're all dead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's day number 1 of the Summit 2 by G2A.com America. We had a fantastic rumble for our first match, but now we're moved on. Game number 2 is going to feature a heads-up against Sneaky Nick's Assassins going against Team Leviathan, formerly known as Flipside Tactics NA. They have dropped the sponsor, and they also have dropped a lot of opponents all the way through the qualifier, going 2-0 the whole way through, and now have made their way to the main stage. Bringing you the action is myself, Kyle Guy, but right by my side again, the model to my model guy, Mr. Travis Ma Bueno. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited here for the second game of the Summit 2 for the American qualifiers. And, yeah, Leviathan, obviously the underdogs here against Sneaky Nick's Assassins, and I'm very excited for this game. However, they don't have Ush, and many would say that without Ush, Sneaky Nick's Assassins are not nearly as good as they would be. And KVH, that's not a knock on him. He's a great player. He's been around the Dota scene forever, but this might be a bit of a closer matchup than most people are expecting.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Ush has been the point man for SNA for quite a while, and I've seen him do huge and strong performances. So now we'll have to question how much KVH will be able to bring to the table, or if maybe they'll swap roles around, maybe have TC take more of the number 1 role and have someone else fill in for the mid. We'll just have to see how it goes on through here. Many would imagine that the Sneaky Nick's Assassins, however, are still the better team on paper. But I got to tell you, from what I've seen through the qualifiers, Leviathan are no joke. These guys can definitely perform, and they have a strong foundation to back it up. So we'll have to see. Sneaky Nick's Assassins, they are coming off their performance at ESL 1. Not the best, but you got to remember, for some of these players, it was their first LAN experience. For the others, almost like the reincarnation of Team Liquid. So they're still trying to make a name for themselves. They're right there at like the B tier of the NA Dota scene, of course, just like right below your EG. And they want to be able to kind of hold that spot. So we'll see if they can make a strong roll through here as they try to get up with Team EG, who have already invited to the LAN here for the Summit. They want to be right by their side. And nothing would bring me more joy to see Mike and be able to hug him. Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, it's going to be a rough road. They certainly can make it, but this is not, again, I talked about this in the first game. This is not an easy group of teams to play against. I mean, Navi US have faltered a bit in the past couple of weeks, but you still can't really count them out, and we have no idea who they're going to play with either, so that's really important as well. And for Sneaky Nick's Assassins, they're a solid team, but, I mean, Mike had some rough games at ESL, I think one in particular when he was playing Centaur, and they got crushed, man, and against Cloud9, obviously. Not a great series for them, but again, back to their tried and true here against more North American-oriented teams. Skyrath and Brewmaster, good solid pickup for Leviathan. Sneaky Nick's Assassins, they pick up the clockwork for IX Mike 88. The stash work, as he's known, and I like it. It's a good, solid choice for them.
Yeah, it's good. A bit unorthodox from what we see from other teams. They'd rather just have more primary on getting a hold of some of the more precious pickups, like your Brew, like your Skyrath, or a Faceless Void, or the Centaur. But those have been banned out, and they're kind of going a little more off the edge. And they grab Nature's Prophet and Clockwork, 2 typical offlaners here. So we might see a mid-lane Nature's Prophet, if I did have to wager on this one. For Leviathan, it's much more standard. They get their Brew for the mid lane, it looks like, and then the Skyrath Mage, who we've already seen, can do serious work. The Ancient Seal would definitely help out in being able to lock anyone else down. To build on from this, maybe if they already know they're going to be going against this Nature's Prophet toe-to-toe, they could look for someone who can kind of get a hold of him, grasp him down. Maybe like if they want to switch it up and put Brew in the safe lane, we did see it last game, of course, from Infinity Stack. Maybe they could do something like a Storm Spirit and just be able to really bring it to Nature's Prophet, but we'll have to see. The game plan, though, from both teams is still up in the air. These are very universal grabs, and we don't know exactly if they're going to go more for a heavy push onslaught or more early aggression pickoffs or look to take it down the road into the late game.
10 seconds.
And you talked about the mid lane of Nature's Prophet. That's certainly a possibility, but after watching ESL 1 New York, I honestly think this hero could be in like any role and be fine. Like Zai played him in the third position as a Nature's Prophet. I'm like, I've never seen that before, and it actually worked out pretty well with the exception of the last game. So I mean, And Sneaky Nyx Assassins are a team that will make use of other strategies to get them some decent wins. I've seen them run Korja Hero as well, which is currently banned out, and that was a big popular strat for EG on top of it. But, this Nature's Prophet, we don't really know where he's going in. That's the beauty of the draft, especially in 6.82. Same goes for the Brewmaster. We don't know if he's going mid or if he's going in the safe lane. Obviously, you have more options than Nature's Prophet here, but there's a lot more that they can draft here. As we do get them into reserve time right now for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, what do they grab? That's the big question. Maybe support? I don't know.
From the other regions that have the opportunity to cast, I feel like not enough teams outside of your EG and like NA Dota realm really utilize the Jakiro. I think he's just such a fantastic hero, especially when these teams like to roll more push heavy. And he's also a hero that can be very universal. Just throw him in a support role. Hell, we've seen him on Universe in the off lane. We've seen him as a core as well. And he could be all over the place. He's a great grab. Give him a Yules, and it's an easy lockdown follow-up with your Ice Path, Macro Pyre, Dual Breath. Heaven forbid you get a hold of like a Faceless Void as well for extra lockdown. And he could definitely bring the pain. And, of course, his bread and butter, if you will, the Liquid Fire is really what brings him into a new element. But here we go. We're going to see another Undying grab here. Didn't work out so well for Root Gaming. He was there. He definitely aided, had the extra sustain. Didn't really contribute a whole lot as far as the pushing power. And then by the end of the game, the Tombstone just always fell immediately and was free gold. But in the hands of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, maybe they're feeling a little more confident with it. But another hero that could be an offlaner, could be a support. The game plan is up in the air. I'm sure Leviathan are scratching their heads just as much as we are.
I've seen SNA play this as a safe lane support more often than not with like Fluff and Whitebeard playing it. I think generally Fluff plays it. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I don't expect them to offlane this because they have a Clockwork already. But Undying is just one of those heroes that he's honestly deceptive in what he brings to the table. Like, you talk about the Tombstone and Decay. Like, I was sure that top lane that they wouldn't be getting kills with Undying early on, but then they just throw down the Tombstone and he gets 4 stacks of Decay and he runs at a couple of heroes. So they get a couple of kills. So, I mean, he brings a lot early game, but that means you have to fight early, and you have to not necessarily win early, but get a really solid advantage, because unless you're getting like Crimson Guard and a mech and all of these utility items and still feeling pretty good, like your Tombstone's going to die in the matter of seconds. You're going to die in a matter of seconds, despite how tanky you might be with Flesh Golem and Decay and Soul Rip. You just go down too quickly, and I think that's a byproduct of trying to transition to the late game. So we'll see how that goes for SNA on this one.
For Leviathan, they could still secure an off lane if they're going to throw Brew in the mid. Batrider is still in the pool, but they're not doing that. This is NA Dota, folks. Welcome to the Summit to America. It's time to man up right now. Throw your shirt off, beat your chest. Axe is now on the field, and with the benefit of that Tombstone on the other side, he's going to be spinning to win all day. You're talking about summons left, right, and center on the side of SNA, and I think Axe enjoys that a lot. And I'm a bit percolated, Mott. I love this hero. I'm ready for the Slam Jam.
I mean, this is it's exciting. This is just a manly-ass lineup coming out from Leviathan right now. We don't see Axes too often.
Remaining.
Against an Undying, Clockwork, and Nature's Prophet, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's pretty good. We'll have to see how it works. I mean, there's no real reason to pick the Axe here. It's not like they need to focus on ganking any specific, safe lane farmer.
5 seconds remaining.
And we have yet to see what lane he's going to get put in. Sneaky Nyx Assassins, interestingly, pick a Weaver into the Axe, which I don't know if that's the best matchup in the world later on down the road, but certainly could be good. And Axe will just chop through everything. So
yeah, if Axe does get a hold of that Blink Dagger relatively early, and he can get to the bug and squash it if he'd like. Can't count that out, but he's just very elusive and very tricky. If they do look for secondary support on the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins, I wouldn't put it past them to maybe consider something like Abaddon again, or maybe Ancient Apparition. Both those heroes are fantastic supports that can aid Weaver fantastically, whether it's with your shield, allowing him to get that extra bit of harassment and extra bit of damage. And same goes with the Chilling Touch on Ancient Apparition. And of course, he will be able to nullify with that Ice Blast any sort of heal that could come out. So if Axe is, trying to pull together heavy regen, heavy tank ability, the Ice Blast could definitely nerf that down a bit, and something that they should look out for. Now, back on the side of Leviathan, they do need to round out their supports, and they also need to think about the late game, the long road. Someone to contest this Weaver, someone that can kind of catch him out in case he does try to be extra elusive. And you know what? For how unorthodox and how outside the box both these teams have been thinking already, it's pretty much up in the air at this point. We're seeing a lot of teams experiment more with the 6.82. It hasn't really felt like 6.82. It's felt like 6.81 plus, where they're kind of doing a little bit of both, and they're still keeping the old tried and trues, like your Death Prophets, like your Faceless Voids, and of course Skywrath Mage and Brew. And then they are slowly bringing in some new elements into their lineups that can kind of help out. And we're really early in these group stages, so this is the time. If you want to experiment, you know, this is your best chance before it gets really crucial and trying to get a hold of those wins. So, with that said, Leviathan actually grabbed themselves their own Abaddon. Now, I don't know if this is something that works out to their benefit. You know, of course, giving Axe that shield, allowing him to jump in, just adds a whole new element to his already heavy prowess, but also could be taking away from Sneaky Nyx Assassins if that was something they were personally planning on grabbing.
I like the choice, and I think this year is going to see a lot of play. And this makes it even that much more manly. Like, Axe Jim's standing you a fight at him, and like he's just going to go to work. Same with the Brewmaster. We saw that in the last game, too. So it certainly does pan out. Again, though, without a blink dagger on some of these heroes, this lineup's almost useless. Like, Axe needs a blink Berserker's Call, Brew needs a blink Thunderclap. Otherwise, and even with those items, they don't necessarily get a Weaver in a Berserker's Call. They don't necessarily get a Clockwork because he's just going to hook in. This is a really global lineup against a lineup that's really built around blinking and controlling team fights through some AoE abilities. And that's the concerning thing for Leviathan here is that if they don't hit their blink daggers, if they don't get the initiation, they could easily lose a fight. And that's what I like about Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And they still have one more hero to pick up. And now this is the question. Where's the Snitch's Prophet going? Where's the Weaver going? Is Undying a support? Probably. What do they grab here? It's all up in the air.
These are questions, Mott, and we're trying to get the answers, for God's sakes. As they're looking the last second here, the reserve time, and another potential mid laner going to be grabbed. So, with that said, what the hell do we got here? It looks like we do have a position for Nature's Prophet, if I have to say so myself. Sneaky Nyx Assassins taking a page out of the Zai book and trying to make it work, you know. So what did we learn from Zai running it? He was just very aggressive, really took advantage of the teleportation. I believe he also favored getting a hold of some nulls early for some benefit right-click, you know, and just a good overall global presence. So this is, I would imagine, being TC's Dragon Knight, a hero he did used to play very frequently, and then possibly KVH, their stand-in for Ush. If he does fill up the core role, will be taking a hold of this Weaver. That allows now Clockwork, of course, to be in the off lane, and that puts Undying side by side with that Weaver, adding in that extra bit of heal. And the last grab here for Leviathan is going to be the Clinks. Clinks we've only seen a couple of times now. He received a bit of a nice change in the recent patch. Now that Searing Arrow can be benefited from your Desolator, from your Diffusal Blade, from any of those orb attacks that once he couldn't take advantage of. So we'll see if it's something Shredder goes for. From watching Shredder play, this guy is a fantastic farmer. He's definitely great in the hands of like a Spectre and what have you. I've seen him farm a lot, and just as I say that, Mott, they're going to do a flip. They're going to do another flip. Can you just make my job a little bit easier, please? I mean, why do I even try, Mott? I just need to wait, I guess.
Yeah, you just need to hold on, man. Like, you're just like, yeah, Shredder.
Stop switching, for God's sakes.
Like, they just wanted to screw with you, I think, man. They're going to, at the end of this, it's going to be Shredder. See, he's back at the Clinks. They just wanted to screw with you.
It's going to be Shredder. The other funny note, and it's a shame that Clinks doesn't have a lot of cosmetics, is this guy must be rich or something, because I've seen him pull out the Alpine set on Ursa. I think I've seen him even do the Dragon Claw hook on Pudge. This kid loves dressing up. He loves having a big fashion statement, but unfortunately, Clinks doesn't really have a lot to show off.
Clinks' like items and sets are just they're not great.
They're pretty ass.
I mean, he has people can build cosmetics for him. I don't know why they don't. I guess that here's just ass or something. People just don't like him. But
let's get some you know, American apparel out there for our Clinks, please. All right, cosmetic people out there. All right. Well, anyways, here we are, folks. We're into the match now. This is game number 2. We have 3 American matches for you today here for the Summit 2 by G2A.com. And without further ado, I'd be happy to introduce your Radiant side. It's Team Leviathan. They won the coin flip. They had first pick, and they took it on the Brew. Now, dunking out here, we got Sunken playing on your Skywrath Mage support up in this off lane. It looks like he might be side by side with Jenkins, the Axe. He has a very manly axe at that, and a mask as well. I believe that's the BTS max, if I say to myself. Anyways, along the mid lane, it's going to be Shibby playing your Brewmaster. No surprise there. Shredder is indeed going to be playing your core Clinks along the bottom, and side by side with Mr. Newsham, who's going to be playing your Abaddon.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, your dire team, flipping stuff in the bottom lane, running towards mid on the Undying currently, or down to that bottom rune spot perhaps. KVH is going to be playing your Weaver there with him alongside. Meanwhile, mid lane TC on his DK, one of his more famous heroes. Top lane, Whitebeard, your support, 4 position Nature's Prophet, getting run down by Jenkins here. And to finish it all off, it'll be IX Mike 88, safe lane Clockwork. A nice little mustachio coming through with that.
Of course,
nice
he's got to have the
helmet,
mustache cosmetic. Of course he does.
Seriously.
Freaking guy. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-2 lineup from both teams, as potentially, though, Whitebeard will be hopping and bopping all over the place, of course, once he gets a hold of a few levels and maybe a null under his belt. He'll look to try to press the action all over the place. So without further ado, we'll hop up that glass hits. It looks like TC is going to rush forward for that bottle. More traditional, DK style, getting the bottle crow happening right here. Breathe the fire on the creeps, get the CS in your favor, get to level 6 and get some damage on that tower. But nope, top lane, Jenkins is not looking to, take a slow start. He's already moving in. He's trying to get the spins off right now, and Mike pulls out the early cog level right there just to help out in case. But you got to be risky about that. If you accidentally get yourself caught with Axe, things could be a bit devastating.
They won't be able to really do anything in this top lane, I don't think, unless they can get a rotation. Bottom lane is where they're going to get things happening, because you have the TP coming in from the Furion. He went for trance first, which is interesting on a support position of Furion. Usually you get the teleport first and sprout as soon as you can afterwards, but I don't know if they're going to be getting involved in that many kills. I think they just want to secure their lane, secure farm, especially for KVH, and obviously in the mid lane on TC, who already has his bottle now. He's doing rather well for himself, so.
Yep, and Shibby's going to be doing more of the same. Mid lane, it's just going to be more of that respect farm. A little bit of a tit for tat here as they try to flirt back and forth with some of the last hits and harassment, but their priority is getting the levels, getting the CS, getting their level 6, and then making it work from there. Brew could look to venture out, but already early rotation coming in. It's Fluff on this Undying, heading towards that mid lane, but he quickly gets pinged out. They have the nice obs right here to see the rotation happening. He might be too late if he was considering making a go
top
at
lane,
the Courier,
Whitebeard.
but top lane, yeah, they're moving on in. Whitebeard very low on life. This could be your first blood. It takes one more right click. He wants it. He goes a little too far. He might pay for this one, and he will. Oh, it's Mike who picks up the first blood. Jenkins, is RNG with you, sir? Oh, it almost is, and he can't even catch Mike at the end. Mike quickly salves up, and unfortunately the Birdman is the first to fall.
Jenkins needs to be careful. I mean, Mike might not be able to kill him. He's kind of tanky. Actually, maybe.
He traps him in. This is what I'm talking about. Now Jenkins, though, he's not getting the harassment from the creeps to get some extra spins, but they get their redemption, and they take down the Clockwork. So that's a fair trade now for him. But given the fact they handed over the bit of a bonus of first blood, I think Mike is okay with that. Ideally, though, you don't want to hand over kills like that.
I think Mike, he cogged in a creep. I don't think he would have gotten the kill either way. And that was just because Sunken came back in, and that was the thing. I wasn't assuming him to get back there that quickly, but he does go down, Mike, with a bit of a misplay. You talked about, though, they get the first blood. That's huge. Whitebeard has to TP back home. He's going to be going for these null talismans. He's got 2 mantles already up in his inventory, but we'll see where he goes next. If he goes back top or if he heads bottom. Looks like he's going back top, though. That's just going to be his choice of destination. So.
Yeah. You also have to make sure you don't want to be taking away too much from your Clockwork. Clockwork wants to get that level 6. He wants to start being the guy who can jump into the fray with that hook shot and get things rolling for your team, setting the pace as far as how the fights are going to go. And, Furion at any moment can just kind of step back and make a go onto farming the jungle instead with those Treants. But for now, he's just going to hang by his side. Meanwhile, there's Fluff again. He's lingering nearby. They saw him rotate over, and I think they even just pinged him out, but he is eager to
top lane.
Make something happen. But yeah, speaking of which, to make a go, I catch the back end of that one. It's Mike who falls once again to the hands of Skywrath Mage. I guess he just got caught out.
Yeah, but Jenkins ran up Berserker's Called. Mike couldn't do anything there. He got counter helixed a couple of times. They threw the Arcane Bolt, just an easy kill. So Mike getting caught out of position again, and he's just playing more carefully. Like, we saw the same thing happen where he gets caught out in ESL and he dies as Centaur. And now he has 2 deaths and a dual safe lane in the top lane. Kind of rough, so.
So bottom lane, surprisingly, being a bit quiet from both sides as they continue to build up their own CS. It's Clinks who's got 17 and 6 to Weaver's 15, so a slight nod towards Shredder on this Clinks. With the Bad just constantly there looking to babysit. He hasn't got anything for himself, but he knows that. He's playing very selflessly right here, just in case anyone does make the jump. But it's not like they have a whole lot of lockdown as it is. So, but Abaddon as it is, can't really roam around too heavy. So he'll just plant himself there. But here we go. Fluff is actually going to ditch the bottom lane. Feels that Weaver can hold his own, being as elusive as he is. And he's going to try to aid this top lane a bit more. With all the creeps, and, Jenkins is a hero that is... He wants to bank on the creeps being there to be able to get as many spins off as possible, but that's where Undying likes it. If he gets a nice... well, he didn't even level it up. I was going to say a big soul rip. That would definitely benefit. But that's something that could come into play later on. But for now, he's just kind of planning himself. He has the Tombstone ready to go. But he's playing very, very patiently right here.
He's got 2 points of decay rather than 2 points of Tombstone, which is very interesting. Sprouts up on Jenkins, though. They're going to maybe look for a go, but they ate through the 3. Nicely done with the Tango coming out. Tombstone goes. That actually does absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's a bit of a whiff on the gank, unfortunately for them. So, you know, now maybe they could just try to zone them back and take control of the CS, but the creeps have already pushed themselves well under the tower. So things not going as well as SNA would like in this top lane. For mid lane, you know, TC's holding his own in this DK. He's 27 now to Brew's 23. Nothing very significant for either. They are level 6 now, so even if he wanted to rotate and try to get a hold of this Brew, he does have Primal Split. It's going to get that much harder. Shredder on the bottom is still only level 4. He's getting harassed out from Weaver, who is level 5. So relatively calm from everywhere else. Top lane, kind of a hot mess, you know, so hopefully they can look to shake things off and make a comeback.
I mean, this is the problem with supports like an Nature's Prophet and an Undying. And they've rotated out of bottom where KBH was getting decent farm, and luckily he still is. But oh god,
yeah, there's a battle at the runes here, and it forces Brew to pull out the split. And Fluff, unfortunately, might be the victim of this. He quickly cyclones up TC and finishes what he started there on Fluff. Nice grab right there from Shibby, and now he puts his sights on TC. Abaddon is now in the mix. And Skyrath here as well with not much mana to work with. But nice Sprout, gonna block them back. Coming out from Whitebeard right there does slow their roll. A man who's a true bodyguard, it looks like. In bottom, there's going to be a DD, and it's going to allow TC to rotate all the way down there, bottle it up, and regen all that life back.
That should have been a kill, and that's just a great Sprout from Whitebeard. That salvages at least something for Nyx Assassins. They're down 3-1 already, and again, I really just don't like the support duo of the Whitebeard, Furion, and Fluff on that Undying. It's not doing anything. I mean, Decay, he's skilled it up twice, and he's really yet to use it and be effective with it. And TC, I mean, this is going to be a game where it needs to go late because he's going to be the one that's dishing out all the damage. I mean, Mike is getting a little bit more top now, but he's not getting all that much still in comparison to what you have going in the bottom lane, what you have going in the mid lane coming out for Leviathan. So all of a sudden, Leviathan, who are a team that certainly shouldn't be winning this game, at least by odds standards.
Uh-oh. Oh, they dropped the sentry. Can they get the vision to quickly take down Weaver? He does not have the mana for time lapse. Oh no, he's gonna fall. Sunken gets the long range from downtown throw on the Arcane Bolt, and that is not good. Unfortunately, Weaver will fall in that bottom lane. 4-1, big advantage for Leviathan at the start of this one.
I mean, this is just so greedy coming out from Nyx Assassins, and I mean, even Mike's getting chased around top lane. He's gonna hook in though.
He wants to go toe-to-toe with one of the manliest ones in the game, and they just keep bringing out the battery assault and the right clicks, but he is... Oh, was that a fake out? It was. There's the second jam right there, and Mike goes down. Jenkins gets it done, and still, sneaky Nyx Assassins continue to fall, but now Jenkins now under pressure. Welp, a sweeping in Dragon, just blows out the fire, and he's burnt to a crisp. And, well, at least Nyx Assassins do get the fire back on that front. They get another kill finally on the board, and TC wants to take advantage of this Dragon form and get as much damage in as possible on this tower.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going back in on KVH. You can see Skyrath did pick up an Invis room, but KVH seems to know that something's amiss, so he walks away. He's actually got a creep cut, maybe? Yeah, he's creep cutting.
Yeah,
this
but they
is
don't
actually
have detection.
something that... This is really impressive
Radiant
coming out from
structures
Weaver.
are fortified.
Gotta be careful, though. Skyrath's right there. Obviously, he's almost level 6, but he pulls out the Ancient Seal, early Arcane Bolt harassment. He's not going to be able to take him down. Actually, he has to pull out the time-lapse right there. Shredder's not going to be there to really dish out any sort of damage, and... well, I guess they make him spend out the ultimate. Had Skyrath been level 6, maybe things could be different. You know, Weaver being as weak as he is early on, but look at this. Mike has diverted from the top lane and wants to take advantage of his level 6 hookshot and get a hold of someone. Ideally, the Chicken Man. So he's looking at below and hoping he has the vision to make a jump in happen right here. Weaver is still lingering nearby. This could be a successful gank if they want it.
Mike has Dust. He can go on Shredder if he wants to as well. He's going to hook in. Shredder gets cogged up. Dust goes. Shredder's about to fall and will. Mike's going to get the kill. TP back in from Whitebeard as well as the Leviathan's Lucian.
Yep.
And pressure the tower now. Looks like they want to go for the tier 1 or at least put some damage onto it.
Very nice gank. I mean, just proper execution, making sure you have the dust so that you don't jump in and then lose sight of the clinks. You know, can't ask for anything better. Just maybe a lack of communication from Leviathan, noticing that Mike's been gone a little too long, but really by that close to the tower, there's not much you can do. I mean, it's just one of those things that it just really is the inevitable. But top lane, though, Jenkins, wow, slices down Fluff just like that. Now going on Whitebeard, he's pushing on forward, using that extra move speed to get some right clicks in, and look who's here. It's Shredder. Double slam jam coming up for Jenkins. He is above the rim right now as he takes down another casualty, and he's off to a fantastic start. And he already has that Blink Dagger, boy. Ooh, this is scary for sneaky Nyx Assassins. Jenkins is now going to be the one true initiator.
This was what I was talking about. The draft is Leviathan making sure they get these Blink Daggers early on. I mean, they have both Shibby having one, and now they have obviously Jenkins as well. So this becomes very difficult here. KVH can't always just Shikuchi away anymore. He's just going to get brought down by, Berserker's Call. He's going to get slam jammed like he talked about. Shibi is also going to jump in. He'll Thunderclap. He'll Primal Split as well. So this becomes very difficult. And they're really not getting much out of the map except for TC, who does have the highest net worth. But they will hook in on the Shredder top lane.
Oh,
and,
okay,
Mike
top
should grab
lane.
his kill.
Make a jump. Shredder's caught near the tower, and they easily take him down. Nice grab there from Mike. That turns attention here on the bottom. TC moves in, gets Ancient sealed up with that Dragon Form. Promptly jumps back, but Sunken back behind the tower here. Might be scouted out from the Weaver. Jenkins shows up, finishes off TC, and now turns his sights on to another slam. Jesus Christ, this kid. Takes down the Weaver as well. He is just on all cylinders right now, trying his best to snowball out of control on this Axe, and it definitely pays off. They do lose their Clinks, but they take down not one, but 2 cores on the side of Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is just it's actually disgusting how well Leviathan are playing. There's a split in the top lane. Fluff getting caught out, takes the boulder toss right to the face. He's getting chased down, and then Shredder comes in with one last right click to help out, get the job done. They get yet another kill as they're trying to pressure top. Really, there is nothing going the way of Nyx Assassins, with the exception of TC, maybe. So,
Radiant's
and
middle tower
even
is
that,
under
I mean,
attack.
he has a bracer and treads, and that is it. So,
I don't know. Maybe,
rough.
Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they pull out an intriguing draft, I'll say. Doing with the 4-position Furion and then having the Undying as well support. Maybe you would like to go with one of the old standards as far as your support play, and then maybe
Dire's
have
top
something that's
tower
interesting
is
to follow up.
under
I threw out the name Ancient Apparition. That might have worked out, but here we go. Mike makes another jump in on Shredder. He has had his number for the past 2 times. Can he make it 3 right now? Concussive shot. Oh no, Mystic Flare flies and ends up being a 1-for-1. Still, they take down the Clinks, which is a nice grab, but Whitebeard rotates in, and Shibi is right on the case here, as now he's going to get zoned out. Sunken looking to pursue. Uh-oh. Look who it is. Jenkins is here, and he sees blood, and he wants it. He's running on in, but before he can even get the opportunity to slam him down with the ultimate, Shibi cleans it up, and they make it another better exchange for Leviathan, a 2-for-1.
they were diving bottom as well, and Nushin was able to TP out. That was underneath a tombstone as well as KVH was right click. So
Radiant's bottom
even when
tower is
Nyx
under
Assassins
attack.
feel like they have something going, they can't get it done. The thing I have a problem with for Leviathan is again, you talk about how often Shredder's getting picked off. Like, you need to not die, man. You need to just, like, not die, help find kills, or just farm up. And right now, I mean, he's always in dangerous positions. And I feel like also they need to man up.
Radiant's
Leviathan need to
bottom
fight a bit more
tower is
aggressively.
under attack.
Fluff is wounded, standing right near, and Shredder just sees him, and he falls immediately. Now attention on Whitebeard, who also doesn't have the biggest life pool to support, and he goes down as well. 2 supports to fall. They want Shredder, though, and they get it. TC's right there to clean it up, but Weaver does get the last hit, so a nice turn of events for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, but they still have to lose 2. They are not getting the better end of these engagements, though they do manage to grab 1, and they also take the
Radiant's
tower.
top
So
tower is
I
under
would say
attack.
a relative stalemate at the end of that one, getting the 2-for-1 plus the tower, but we'll see. They need to keep the momentum going in their favor, but that's hard when you have an Axe on the other side who's currently making a move on Mike. He's got the shield as well. He is happy to go toe-to-toe against the Clockwork, and now it's a battle arena as he drops down the baby nip cogs and gets sliced apart. The mustache has been shaved. Now Jenkins getting properly healed up. TC moves in. He's got to get out of here quick. His Dragon Form's going to expire, but he gets silenced out and taken down as well. Overzealous play from Sneaky Nyx Assassins is costing him dramatically. I hope they did not underestimate Team Leviathan because,
Radiant
like I said,
structures are
these guys
fortified.
look real good as they
Radiant's
2-0'd
top
all the way
tower
through the
is under
qualifiers and now are standing strong
Radiant's
against
top
one of the
tower
better
has
teams
fallen.
here in NA Dota.
I'm just gonna be honest, man. Mike is doing some real questionable shit. Like, it's actually like, you're walking in, man. What do you expect to happen? Jenkins is just gonna run him right on top of you. I know you got a blade mail, dude, but like, just some of the plays they're making are so weird. Although on the other side of things, Leviathan could have done so much more in that bottom lane. They could have kept their tower alive had Jenkins been there a bit earlier. But he gets there for the redemption kill on not 1 but 2 of the cores of Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And you've got to hope that if you're a Sneaky Nyx Assassins fan,
Radiant's top
KVH
tower
gets
is
some
under
farm, gets
attack.
something going, because he has his perseverance, but that is it. Although they are shutting Shredder down very well, I mean, he's below half in the net worth chart here. I feel like if Leviathan starts to group up and go for kills, they're just going to start balling out of control. And they're going to do just that with a smoke from Jenkins and a TP to the mid lane here. They're going to try to find some heroes out.
They want to jump in. There's Jenkins, grabs the 2. Shibi's right there. He waits out the jump. Once, not twice, but finally Shibi does clean it up. Now TC under pressure. and they decide to pull back as Mike does show up. He's got the blade mail popped, ready to go right here. They don't take anyone, but now they look to turn back on Chibi, who does not have the split, and he goes down. He quickly, though, buys his Vlads right before he dies. So nice quick purchase for them. And for Sneaky Nick's Assassins, they're happy to turn it back. They lose their fluff and stuff support, but they get the brew. So a nice exchange for them. Meanwhile, top lane, it's Weaver who continues to harass him on about. He's got his perseverance. He's desperately trying to build towards that Linken's. Definitely ate him about, but he is going to fall behind still with the damage. But to the benefit of them, Clinks, who's supposed to be the real late gamer for Team Leviathan, has not really shown a whole lot of farm for himself. You know, Shredder, he's way down on this net worth shout, only 4,200 gold, and really he's like halfway between an Orchid. He's got a Bassi and an Ogre Axe. I don't know what the hell this kid's trying to build, but it's a bit all over the place.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's just trying to find something at this point, and that's because he's died so often. Mid lane, actually, that engagement went pretty poorly. Jenkins actually culling bladed a creep instead of culling blading the Undying, which would have given him his cooldown, and obviously TC would have gotten culling bladed as well.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a misplay from Jenkins there. So a bit unfortunate, but they're going to try to find a redemption kill on Fluff. And
oh, here we go. Fluff, who has been unfortunately caught out many a time, now going to get zoned, but here comes Whitebeard thinking about assisting, but he has to pull back. They just sacrifice over Fluff again. He is now 0-6. A very rough game for him on this support Undying, is really nowhere is safe. It looked like maybe he was going on through trying to get a D ward there. He puts down the sentry, and that sentry will see this very pretty butterfly ward, so eventually they'll look to take that down, but it ends up costing him his life, unfortunately. Now looking to push down this mid lane, maybe adding some objectives, because really they, you know, Leviathan, they're getting a lot of kills. It's 18-7, but yet to take objectives. But here we go. Mike jumps on in. He wants that Shredder. Shredder gets healed up with the shield. The Baton's right there to aid him out. He can throw out the mist coil as well to save him, but the dust is going to be popped, and Shredder might fall here. Gets healed up there at the end. Ultimately, they work for it, and they get it done, but they will lose Mike in exchange. Still a better exchange. They now turn, get rid of that tombstone, and Fluff. Oh boy, he's got to go. The Rock catches him on the backhand side. He may look like a big beastly zombie, but, you know, they'll be able to get him down with one more light click, and now they make it better for them. TC shows up, but he quickly gets cycloned up. Ancient Seal to follow it on up, while also Whitebeard tries to get into the fray. TC eating a lot of damage. Oh, they don't even need the slam. He ends up going down. Now Weaver as well. This is not looking good, but Jenkins, also very low, who has a nice bounty, 6-1, will end up falling. He hands that bounty over to the Weaver. Make it 3 for 2 at the end of it. And really, though, it's kind of hard to say who comes out on top of that one, but
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that is probably one of the most even fights this game has seen. It's 21-9, but somehow Sneaky Nick's Assassins are still in this game, and they're doing pretty well just because KVH is actually just split pushing and not dying, which is the exception. It's the difference between him and Shredder. Shredder has 5 deaths. KVH has 2. That's really an issue here. Like, as I say that, Thundercraft gets blown up. My God,
that was so quick. He couldn't even quickly react at all with an R press or anything. He was just done for. His Shibby just sees the bug and he squashes it right under his foot. That was unmerciful right there. And just as we're trying to give Sneaky Nick's Assassins props for coming back into it, which they really are, because they've also taken some objectives. You know, 2 towers have fallen. Actually, 3 they've taken all 3 tier 1s, so the net worth isn't as dramatic as it is. Though this does leave Leviathan the opportunity to really bring in a lot of gold, and now they turn their sights on TC. Mystic Flare brings him down to half. Another Arcane Bolt. Skywrath alone almost takes him all the way down. And oh, they need a little right click. Shibby is greedy for this one, gets cogged up right there, but ultimately Whitebeard also gets taken down immediately, down on the bottom lane in the hands of Axe. Jenkins finds another while action was happening there in the mid lane.
Mike just saved TC's life with that hook shot, though. Those cogs pushed everybody back or made them stay in the cogs where they wanted to go and get TC. They couldn't die past the tower. TC stays alive. He's able to regen up. He's going to head back home. He's getting towards that BKB. Once he gets this BKB, all of a sudden, this team fight from Leviathan doesn't look as solid.
Uh-oh, jump in. Shibby again pulls out the clap and the bare necessities. He looks to make a go on Mike right here, and with the benefit of Shredder, they make easy work of the mustache man. Clean it up. They step on back, but still, let's get some objectives, boys. Leviathan need to start taking some towers on the back end of these kills and taking advantage in numbers.
I mean, Shredder just needs something. He needs anything right now. Like, Deathback is not helping him enough. Towers are certainly going to get him towards that first big item. Glyphtas go, Nature's Wrath. Meanwhile, top lane, I mean, you're going to take an objective, but you might lose the tier 2 tower. They're just going to put pressure on it. So this is what I think Knicks are doing well. On this 4 position, Nature's Prophet's starting to pay off. I mean, Whitebeard actually has had a booking staff already, and he's getting a second one. He's very close to it. So Orchid's going to be coming soon, and that's huge.
It is huge indeed. Shredder quickly pulls on back, sees TC. Those bugs definitely work out, though. In that top lane, had he not got the swarm off, Jenkins could have potentially blink in and catch up, but a nice utility to have there to prevent Jenkins from being able to initiate it and move on forward. He gets a shield up right now, and they continue their pursuit up in this top lane. Would love to make another go at another tier 1 if possible here, but meanwhile, bottom, Shibby pops his invis after quickly blinking away by the side of Mike, and Mike looks to move on from behind. Now, Mike had this blade mail for a long while. Love to get a hold of this Force Staff, though. I mean, the problem is when you're a Clockwork. Oh, hold on, though. Hold that thought. Shibby is... Oh, look at this. Hi, everyone. I see you're doing Roche, and I see you don't have detection. I'm just going to sit on here and wait and just, tell my team this is happening. And
close.
It's going to be close. The duration. Oh, man, this will be big if he gets a hold of it.
I think he might be able to snatch this. It's very close. This is almost going to ride. Oh, my God.
Oh, my
Just make the play, man.
He snatched it. Oh, my God. Oh, sneaky Nyx assassins are like, wait, what the hell happened? Shibby grabs it. Nice. Oh, man.
In all chats or in team chats.
Yeah, you can hear them all laughing right now. Just in the characters, you hear the LOLs dropping from both sides, it sounds like, and they did not have the sentries there. Oh, that's unfortunate, as they just get it taken away. All that effort for just a simple Roche takedown, but no benefit of the extra life, and Shibby's like, thanks, guys, no problem. You do the muscle work, and I'll just take the reward. Uh-oh, top lane, though. They see Weaver. Oh, a solo kill from Sunken takes down the core Weaver. Oh, man, that is rough. And now they go back towards this tier 2, and they will finish what they started.
That Sunken actually, I don't even know if he knew that the Lincoln score was up, but he killed him anyways. Just a really nice play there. And this Roche steal actually might be, that Aegis steal might be a bigger deal than we're making it out to be. That's a pretty big deal already. Crimson Guard is coming out as well to act, and that's a huge item against Tombstone, up against the right click coming up from the Weaver, from the Trance, everything. This is going to be huge from if they can get to the tier 3 and take this tier 3 tower instead of Rax. But what is Sneaky Nyx Assassins doing? They're just staying down bottom currently. They're not really trying to defend. Mike has to go back and behind TP. And this is the issue I see so often with him. He gets stuck at that blade mail. He cannot get to that next item. And a TP scroll, you gotta get that, but you gotta get back up there and help your team out, man.
Yeah, the tower now at half life forces them to pull out the glyph. And I think Leviathan finally make the call to pull back. They got some good damage in, and they're going to walk away with all those rewards. Now, they'll look to gather up, and then I would imagine they're going to go again for another fight on the back of this. Oh, what the hell? Whitebeard falls in the bottom. I guess he didn't know that Jenkins would be in the neighborhood, and he just swiftly jumps in and gets the job done.
TP's down bottom, behind the trees, which is a really often TP spot, and just walks forward and blinks onto Whitebeard, who just dies.
Standard stuff.
It's squishy. I mean, yeah, this is just standard axe play. I mean, like, if you're going to catch somebody out of position, you're like, that's one of the easiest heroes to kill. Be very squishy. Only way to get out is a TP. So, just kills him, and there's still tier 1 tower bottom, and you can bet that they're going to take this tower now, so.
Well, they move in, and, you know, what was the advantage for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins was having all those towers taken down and still holding their own as far as net worth and item progression, but that is quickly falling away from them. I mean, before that Roche incident happened, I was talking about how Mike was desperately trying to get a hold of a Force Staff. It would help him so much, because already as it is, if he makes a jump in, and Skywrath Mage is in the neighborhood, he's just going to drop a Mystic Flare on top of his head, and there's nothing he can do about it until he gets that Mystic Flare to help himself get out or anyone else. So, it looks like Leviathan just taking advantage of that. Move on forward. Shredder now does get his BK beat complete, and with nearly 1k in reserve, is going to continue to build up the extra damage, the extra items. And they're adding pressure on the top. It looks like they're going to go for a trade as TC pops out his Dragon form. The glyph is going to be there, and already the rotation in. And Shibby's going to be first on the scene, jumping. Clap right now. Catches on the 2. Can't get the split off yet, as the Dragon Tail will be there from TC, but you know, now he won't have vision to see Whitebeard on the side of that Sprout. Oh, but he actually second guesses the TP, and he actually will stay. Seeing that no one else is coming in, because it looks like Leviathan are going for high ground here on the bottom lane, and it leaves Shibby all alone to try to defend. Now finally Whitebeard does make his swift escape. The tower's still taking damage from those Treants, from those creeps, and he's on the hunt. He would love to get hold. Yeah.
TC BKB and tried to TP bottom, but he canceled it for whatever reason. And I'm not sure if that's going to be huge or not. It looks like it will be.
They're still there on the bottom, duking it out while TC's getting gone on. Sunken manages to clean up the Weaver again. Now Weaver has forced to buy back. TC's still not here. He's getting chased out from Shibby, so it's only a 4-on-4 rather. And another kill for Skywrath Mage as he takes down Whitebeard. Jenkins is still holding strong, pushing on forward. Fluff is going to be there, desperately trying to slow them down as much as possible, but man, Team Leviathan not letting up. They have taken the reins of this game And for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, I don't know if they underestimated their opponents or just kind of threw together a draft that did not work out for them. But I can't take away too much credit from Team Leviathan. They've been looking pretty sharp.
I mean, they have 28 kills at 25 minutes of the game. They're so... Other than the Clinks, they're playing so damn well. The Clinks, Shredder has had a rough time, but he's starting to catch up. He has his BKB now, and he hasn't died since he had those original 5th deaths. And on top of this, I mean, the Scarab Mage is playing out of control. I don't know how TC canceled that TP. He BKB'd, so I'm pretty sure he just moved or something, but he doesn't TP with Dragon Form there, and they don't grab any kills, and they have to force a buyback on KBH, which is just huge. They don't get the tier 3 tower, but they still put a lot of pressure there. And, yeah, again, it's going to come down to another Assault Cuirass, I think, from the Brewmaster, much like it was in the last game. And with this item, all of a sudden, again, Leviathan can just push and just take this advantage. There is no Aegis, however. It does get reclaimed, so the duration has gone. But there it is, Assault Cuirass at 25 minutes in, so there's the trade-off.
Now things are getting even better. Another utility Brewmaster quickly being built up. And that will help with the siege as they've already taken high ground on 2 different occasions. This is going to make it a lot better to finish those structures and, of course, benefit the rest of the team with a little bit of extra durability, a little bit extra armor. But here we go. Jenkins looking to make it go on Whitebeard. Whitebeard gets the sprout off, and Jenkins will not be able to pursue, so he makes a swift escape. But constantly on the defensive here is Team Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And Weaver, who had been the looking to build up and pulled out for the late game, had fallen time after time, even with the Lincolns. You know, the Force Staff does remove that, and then they just quickly try to clean him up. But here we go on the retreat. Tombstone going to be popped defensively, but still Shibby moves in, pulls out the Primal Split, gets the stone on Mike. Mike still doesn't have that Force Staff. Oh, he does have the Force Staff, but it's already on cooldown, so he can't quite get away from this one. He pops his Blade Mail, steps on over. Meanwhile, TC and Jenkins there, but he can't get the call off on time, so he will make a TP out. But Mike, though, might not be so lucky. Very low, about 100 life. And Shibby jumps in and gives him a round of applause, the clap, if you will. He takes him down. Fluff going to make escape with that TP. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're pressing on in. Sunken scouts out Whitebeard. Oh, the Mystic Flare is going to be up and ahead. TC rolls through it, no problem. Jumps in. Dragon Tail going to land, and ultimately he will end up falling. Shredder gets the last hit in and takes down Whitebeard. And now quickly, they're on the way back out. They do lose their Skywrath Mage, you know, definitely under the hands of TC. And they pull on back, but still a 2-for-1 benefit for Team Leviathan. They push ahead 30-11.
I really like what Leviathan are doing. You can see they're playing a little bit too aggressively here, but they're making sure that this Weaver doesn't get anything for free. I mean, he has his Liquid Sphere, and he's been into the jungle a couple of times, but while that's happening, I mean, just the rest of his team is either dying or they're getting pushed on or losing objectives. They're not making it easy. TC's going to get caught out in the mid lane as well. Body block coming through, but nice Dragon Tail. Blink clap, no split available. There's going to be a nice little Tombstone drop down as well. TC's so slow right now. Flair's going to come in as well, trying to stop Shibby from right-clicking away on this guy. This might be too much, Shibby, my friend.
Man, they're really helping out TC. They get the Sprout that helps out. Now the Cog comes in as well. And this could be a promising turn of events here for Sneaky Nyx Assassins if they can capitalize. But ultimately, they take down the Brew, but Jenkins is right there, takes down TC, and they want more. Whitebeard is going to fall right there into the hands of Shredder. And they take down 2. They only lose the Brew. Weaver's still in the area, but doesn't nearly have enough damage to get it done. And, you know, Leviathan step back, regroup, and maybe consider pushing on in. But without Brew to be there, maybe they just kind of keep the aggressive, they keep the creep waves pushed up, step back, get some wards down near the Roche Pit, because that might be the next objective they want to go for here, while Weaver is desperately trying to find the farm. Now at about 2,200 gold, looking to bring in something, a Desolator or what have you, but, you know, not letting up is Jenkins. He's scouting out, looking for an opportunity to maybe make a jump here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. Jumps in, does the call, but can't quite catch him. The Lincolns is going to be removed from the call right there, or sorry, from the Battle Hunger, but he quickly pulls back to base.
Yeah, and that's, again, they don't want KVH roaming free down in that top line. I think KVH bought something. Yeah, he's getting a Mythical Hammer, whether that's a BKB or Desolator. Probably a Deso coming in. He needs more damage. I mean, Shredder only has a BKB, and he's popping Whitebeard. He's getting blown up, and Fluff and stuff is pretty squishy as well, even with that Buckler.
And it looks like he's going to go for Desolator.
So smart.
Yeah. So Shredder taking advantage of that latest edition in 6.82. So we got one hammer. The money for a second one, but uh-oh. TC does have to pull out the BKB to avoid the extra damage, but Mike is on the return, jumps in with a very nice hook shot, but he ends up getting popped out right there, uses the Force Staff to get away. Shield is there as well. How long can they save their support? A missed coil as well. They're really making not work for even the supports at this point. Shredder pops his BKB and is on pursuit, trying to take down Fluff. Fluff hides himself in a corner from this one. Can he get scouted? He will. Fluff will get stuffed as he ends up dropping right there. Shredder now dominating. Now TC gets surrounded and taken apart. Sunken picks up a double kill for them. They take down 3, and Sneaky Nyx Assassins can't even take down the Skywrath support on a counter initiation. That just goes to show how quickly they're falling behind here, or how good Team Leviathan are looking.
I mean, the only thing Nyx Assassins can do in this game is just split push. I mean, KVH isn't going to rotate over until he knows he has an item that can do work. Whitebeard's died more often than he's been effective in these fights too. Like, he just dies to Shredder. So there's no point for him porting in, because his positioning is not nearly good enough for him to be okay in these situations. I mean, he has 8 deaths. That's a problem. That's a lot of deaths. So for Leviathan, maybe this is the time they can get a tier 3 tower. I don't think so. There should be a buyback. Yeah, there isn't a buyback for DK, but they should be able to defend this. They might lose their tier 3. I don't think they'll lose the racks, though.
Move in, they want to just finish it off, and they do. Jenkins also shows up. He had recently picked out that Boots of Travel, and now he's going to be fast as ever, especially if he gets off that ultimate. Look at this tower begin to crumble. 1 rack's already a fall right here. TC is not around, and Weaver has to be careful on how he commits, because Skywrath with that Force Staff could quickly remove his Lincolns, and they could just burst him down. And Mike has already shown that even when he jumps in, it ultimately can just quickly fall apart. Shoots a rocket on the way out, but ultimately, Leviathan very happy with that exchange. They take down both racks just like that. And folks, we are looking at the start of an upset right here for Team Leviathan to come on top in their first debut in the main season of Summit 2 America.
Shredder actually has a Desolator. So he's going to be shredding some things,
yes,
including
baby.
buildings. Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
That's awful. I'm here all week, folks, but he's going bottom. He's going to push out the wave. They'll probably go for Roshan next, although Nyx Assassins are 1 step ahead, although they are pretty far behind in terms of the graph here and just the game in general. Leviathan are impressing me with their play. Nyx Assassins are not. This is not their game right now. They're in a bit of a rough spot. Jenkins is actually just going to kill Whitebeard. Oh, Jenkins, come on, buddy.
Oh, he doesn't quite look in to peek and see what's happening. Now he sees that there was a lingering SNA member making a go, but they're just going to swoop in and take advantage of this. I don't think they're afraid of a fight, so if a fight even comes their way, they're happy to take it. But it's going to be Jenkins who could circle the outside perimeter just in case something does happen. But before I can even finish that, Shredder with that Desolator just makes quick work of Roche, and they hand him the Aegis. And now with the benefit of that extra life, they're just going to continue to push on in here and try to put a lid on this game. And for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they're in desperate mode. They are pushing out all the other lanes as much as possible. They want to relieve as much pressure, but Whitebeard scouted out, throws out the Sprout. Fluff is going to be there as well, drops the zoning Tombstone, and they quickly make their retreat.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... Whitebeard has not had that big an effectiveness scam on that 4 position Nature's Prophet, unfortunately. And Jenkins actually is going to get caught out. Oh, Force Staff down to the low ground. He might be able to get away here. Hook shot. He blinks away. What a player. Jenkins gets out. He still is getting chased down by Mike, but he's nowhere near. And Mike has to actually keep back to the base as they're getting their tier 3 tower destroyed. Up and back away.
Oh, Fluff back, Fluff down. Sunken, a killing spree. Skywrath Mage has been putting in overtime right now this game. Chibi is right in the fray right now. Gets briefly silenced up, and now he gets the split off. Mike tries to get him in with the cogs. Mike ends up falling. Shredder now under big pressure from TC, but Jenkins jumps in and says, "Look at me, Dragon," and he trains him. Now a double kill from him as he catches out Whitebeard. Oh, he can't get the 3rd call, unfortunately, but still, this might be it. The towel might be thrown in from Sneaky Nyx Assassins as they're about to lose a 2nd set of racks to Team Leviathan, formerly known as Flipside Tactics NA, and they have done it. The Sneaky Nyx Assassins will fall. Team Leviathan pick up their first victory here in day number 1 of Summit 2 at G2A.com America. Wow, oh wow, who expected such a performance from them?
Yeah, that was impressive from Leviathan. Sneaky Nyx Assassins, and again, without Ush. I mean, KVH is a good player, and that's not the reason why they lost. I feel like their draft was a bit uninspiring to me, considering they picked up a 4 position Furion and the Undying. Undying really didn't do much in that game. TC didn't have a lot of help to work with. Mike, 10 deaths, man. That's not what you're looking for. Really a rough game. Leviathan, though, some standout performances. Shibby, the Aegis Steel, going a long way, helping them secure that win. Jenkins slamming and dunking all over the place. Very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. So for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they'll hope to shake this one off and be able to bounce back with a victory. And for Leviathan, off to a very strong start, putting in the W. So with that said, that concludes our 2nd match of the day. We got 3 matches, but we are going to have a brief intermission for our third match today, which is going to be Team Complexity against Turn My Swag On. And that's going to be happening about 5:45 Pacific, 8:45 Eastern, and 2:45 CEST. So make sure you hang around, go get a snack, go get a beverage, but make sure you come on back. Mott, I believe you are partying with me, if I'm correct. Is that right, sir?
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys.
The pun is what did it, Mott. You got to go.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just not good enough for this kind of lifestyle. In all seriousness, I'm actually sick as hell. So I'm going to go and lay down and hopefully not die.
Mott, I appreciate you being able to come by, even feeling ill. Greg, What Is Hip TV, also known as the Gerg One, should be joining me for the third match. Mott, it's been a pleasure as always. Make sure you go show him some love, show him support. Give him his love, make him feel better, some chicken soup or what have you. Catch him over on his Twitter at MottDota. I myself, Coddle Guy. Catch me over on my Twitter at CoddleKai. There'll be a bit of a lowdown moment as we do come back for our next match between Complexity and Turn My Swag On.